Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something pretty fascinating. The secret weapon the world's wealthiest families use to manage their fortunes and shape their legacies.
Okay, yeah, besides the obvious, incredible wealth and global fame, they all have something else in common. It's this powerful, super discreet tool they use to manage all that money and plan for the future. And that secret weapon? It's called a family office. Seriously, think of it like a personal mission control for a family's entire financial universe. We're talking everything: investments, taxes, charity, even getting the next generation ready to take over.
So, let's get into it. What exactly are these things, and why have they become so essential for the ultra-wealthy?
Well, here's the thing. Massive wealth brings with it massive, complex problems. Just imagine for a second you sell the family business. Suddenly, you've got this huge influx of cash, which sounds great, right? But you've also just lost the whole corporate structure that handled things like accounting or insurance. A family office basically steps in to become that new structure, pulling all those loose ends together under one roof.
Okay, so a family decides they need one. What's next? How do you even start building something so personal and so crucial?
Well, it's not as simple as just hiring a bunch of accountants and lawyers. Nope. The process starts with something much deeper, something you're not going to find on any balance sheet.
It all starts not with numbers, but with values. Seriously, the first question is, what does this family actually stand for? What's the purpose of all this wealth, beyond just making more money? Figuring that out is absolutely critical because it becomes the North Star for every single decision that follows. Then, and only then, can you start building the governance, the rules of the road, and all the investment policies. It's really about taking a family's core identity and turning it into a real working plan.
And that quote just nails it, right? Of course, the formal structures and policies are vital. But at the end of the day, it's the human element, that deep personal understanding of a family's unique goals and, let's be honest, their dynamics. That's what really makes these things work.
All right, so once that blueprint is locked in, it's time to get to the engine room, the investment strategy. How do you take that big picture mission statement and actually turn it into dollars and cents, putting capital to work?
Okay, check this out. This portfolio shows a really sophisticated balance. See that? It's an almost even split between public stocks and private markets. Now, that is not your typical portfolio. Because these families can think in terms of decades, not quarters, and can handle more risk, they get access to things like venture capital and private equity, deals that, frankly, the rest of us just never get to see.
And the trend here is just crystal clear. A huge majority, over 60%, are actively pouring more money into these private markets. They're basically saying, we're looking past the crazy ups and downs of the stock market. They're placing their bets on the next wave of private companies to really drive that long-term growth.
And this chart, it shows a really clear pivot in strategy. That 71% number for realign for growth, that's not just a small tweak. That signals a major shift in thinking. It seems like after a while of playing defense and just preserving their wealth, the ultra-rich are now going on offense. They're actively hunting for new ways to grow what they have.
But here's where it gets really interesting. These days, managing all this wealth isn't just about maximizing the financial return. There's a totally new variable entering the equation. And this simple question is driving a huge evolution in how these family offices work. It's a real shift in philosophy. And you know who's often leading the charge? The next generation. The ones who are inheriting these fortunes and asking, okay, but what is all this money actually for?
The answer is a big, resounding yes. And the strategy behind it is called impact investing. And let's be super clear, this is not charity. It's what they call a dual mandate approach. The goal is to generate profit for sure, but also to create positive, measurable outcomes for people and the planet.
Yeah, and this goes way beyond just, not investing in bad companies. This is about being proactive. It's about actively seeking out and funding solutions to some of the biggest challenges we face. We're talking everything from climate change and sustainable farming to social justice and education. So here's the really crucial part. Impact investing actually serves two purposes. Not only does it do good in the world, but it does good within the family itself. It's this incredibly powerful way to get the younger generation engaged. I mean, they might otherwise feel kind of disconnected from all this inherited money. This gives them a real sense of purpose and a way to connect the family's wealth to the things they personally care about. And when you put it all together, this focus on values and impact, well, It's completely changing the game. It's transforming the very definition of what a family office is all about. It's a huge shift in perspective. The goal isn't just about managing liquidity anymore, the how much. It's about building a lasting legacy that actually reflects what the family believes in. It's all about figuring out the why behind all that wealth.
And again, just to be really clear, this is not just some feel-good strategy. The core belief here, like this quote points out, is that companies that operate in a more sustainable, responsible way are actually going to be more valuable in the long run. Plain and simple. Doing good is actually good for business.
So that leaves us with a final thought. A family office is so much more than just a private bank or an investment firm, right? It's a powerful tool, custom built to channel a family's wealth, their values, and their vision for the future. You could even call it a vehicle for shaping that future, which really just leaves one question, doesn't it? What kind of future will they choose to build?